If you're looking to connect Amazon Seller Central data into Google Sheets, you've come to the right place. I'm going to show you a couple of methods of doing it using Gorilla ROI. To get Amazon Seller Central data into Google Sheets from your Google Sheets extensions add-on, you can go into add-ons, get add-ons, or you can search for it directly from your Google Workspace and then just type Gorilla ROI in. You'll see some options. The one that you want is the black one that says Gorilla ROI Data Connector. So install that. I've also got our additional advanced version installed as well. Once that's done, you're going to activate it. Go into the extensions add-on again, and then click on Show Sidebar. It's now going to load the user interface. If you haven't done so, you're going to add your account ID from within your account. Once the sidebar is loaded, now this is where the magic happens and you'll be able to start creating queries. So look how easy it is. I'm just going to create a new query on a blank spreadsheet. I'm going to select Amazon Seller Data. Select the Amazon account you want to grab the data for. There is an unlimited number of accounts that you can add, so just make sure you grab the proper one. For this demonstration purpose, I'm going to select Test Seller 2. It's only giving me a warning because it's a demo account. This one is for the US marketplace. For the period, let's just choose something like custom. So this one automatically defines it as February 1 to whatever today's date is, February 3rd. I'm going to go back and do January 1 to February the 3rd. Select the data set, the report that you want to pull in. Keeping it simple, I just want sales. And then you can choose specific data points that you want, metrics, but I'm just going to pull in everything. So select all. Now save and create the query. You can change the name if you want. So this is for the seller data for Amazon Seller Central. I'm going to get the sales, and that's just an arbitrary number just to keep it unique. It's going to insert it into whatever cell I have selected. So right now it's going to start inserting it into A1. Save. Now it's going to run, and it's going to pull in all the data from that custom period from January 1 to February the 3rd. So as it populates all of the data, you'll see that this table has about 495 cell data points. And it loaded that within, say, the amount of time that I was speaking. That's really how easy it is to pull in this data. Once you have this data, you can use pivot tables, you can insert a row if you want, you can if I wanted to, I could do some extra formulas like say this multiplied by whatever to create whatever reports that you want. And this way, rather than trying to mess around with creating formulas from within the sidebar, you can just pull it and then just get straight into the data that you need. Let's go in and get some extra data. So this is sales. I'm going to rename this tab so I don't mess things up. I see a lot of people say trying to load too many of different data points within a single tab, and that is very bad practice. It's not ideal, because if something grows, if your data grows from, say, I've got how many, 14 SKUs, and let's say I grow it to like say 50 SKUs, then it's going to overwrite. So what you want to do is just keep things separate, keep things clean. I'm going to create another one for, let's say, inventory. And let's create another query. So go back up to the sidebar, create new query, Amazon Seller Data. Again, let's choose the Test Seller 2 account. I'm going to go a little bit quicker simply because it's very basic. You really can get data with just 5 or 6 clicks. Inventory, select all, save, and now the query is running. So this way you can get access to all of the Amazon reports And with just say 5 to 7 clicks, you've generated and you've imported all of that data into your spreadsheets. From here, you can use it like a mini database and use it to fill in or push data to say your other dashboards or your other reports. You can use a VLOOKUP. You can just use simple equals references to grab that data that you need. All of the inventory data here just processed right away. And now if you wanted to refresh, what you would do is from your sidebar, you would just go into reload this list. And now it's going to go through each formula one at a time, each query. And that's it. That's already done. It's already refreshed both queries. Now, if I had, let's say, 5 more, it's going to go through all of them. But the speed, that's our focus. We focus on speed so that we get you up and running and it just works in the background. You can also set the refresh frequency. Let's say you have data and there's 2 types of data, something that refreshes a lot and something that is not as dynamic. So like your product titles, you're not changing it every 30 minutes, right? Whereas your sales may be constantly being updated every hour, every 2 hours, every 1 minute. In that case, you want to define whether something is frequent or infrequent. So from here, you can set your scheduler and you can set it to whether you want to refresh something daily at a certain time. And if anything fails, it will alert you and notify you. Or you can set it to just disable it if you've got, again, something that doesn't refresh regularly so that you can save your quota in terms of just keeping your spreadsheet as simple as possible so that you're not constantly, say, churning things out and just slowing and really making your spreadsheet sluggish. That's what you want to avoid. Just best practice. Try to keep it as clean and simple as possible. Let's do a little bit more complex example. Create new formula, create new query, Amazon seller data, again, test seller 2. I also want to, let's say you have a different marketplace. So you want to maybe select one or both. In that case, it will automatically switch it to all and then select the period. Let's say I want to do it to say last X daily values. What this means is rather than just being set to whatever the predefined period is, we have quite a lot of different periods. But let's say you have some very weird numbering or reporting days and you want to do, say, let's say 41 days. So 41. Select the data set. Let's go for business reports because I know that's something that a lot of you guys want to get. Metrics, again, let's go for, instead of getting everything, let's just get in a mix of different metrics here. I've selected 4 and now I'm going to save and create the query. Now just letting it load. It's going to go through the reports, getting it for the last 41 days, pulling the data for the queries that for the metrics that I want, the 4, and now it's going to populate on a per day basis because I've requested specifically, I want each number for each day for the last 41 days. And so you can pull it in this format and you can use it to get a historical view or a monthly view or whatever the method that you use for reporting. Now, let's say you want to further manipulate this data. I'm going back to sales. You can create your own pivot tables using this. So insert, select the table that you want, insert pivot table, and it's going to automatically identify what the table is and create it into a new sheet. Now I'm going to be able to add as a row, let's say the ASINs. And then on the values, let's say I want sales total all. What else do I want? Let's say I want units counts all. And by doing so, you can manipulate your data and then use the data that we're providing through Gorilla ROI, again, to backfeed or feed into your reports, your pivot tables, your existing tables, any existing spreadsheets or reports that you have. An advanced version that I want to show you is, let's say you don't like all this pointing and clicking. Let's say you want pinpoint data accuracy and control and flexibility. I'm not even going to use this sidebar because within Gorilla ROI, we have the ability to use custom formulas that we've created. Let's say I want to pull in the SKUs. I'm going to do gorilla_SKU list. Now, granted, you do have to go through our documentation to understand what formulas we have to pull what data points, but all the formulations are there. All the formulas are there on our widgets, on our help widget. You can use it to help you generate the formulas that you need. So it's quite simple. And once you get used to this, a lot of people don't go back. It's going to highlight and tell you what each variable is that you need to enter. The first one is highlighted as seller ID. And for the seller ID, I've kept on clicking and selecting test seller 2, right? But in this case, I've already entered it into my header here. But let's say I want to enter it manually. So this is what you would do. Test seller 2 inside quotations, comma, to move on to the next one. Marketplace, the easy version that and the reason why I've already entered it here is so I can just select the cell, comma. And then for the SKU, I don't really have any SKUs. You can expand and see what the documentation here as well. I don't need to enter anything. I'm just going to end the formula here. And now it's going to populate and load all the SKUs for this Amazon account test seller 2 for the US marketplace. Boom, just like that. Now you can already get an idea of how powerful this could be, especially as you want to create reports on the fly, or let's just say you have an idea or you want to quickly just verify some numbers. So I've pulled the SKUs. Let me get the units sold now. So the formula for that is sales count. Again, seller ID is B1, comma, for the period last 30 days, marketplace, US, and for the SKUs, I'm going to, the reason why I put SKU in column A is so that now I can just drag and select all the SKUs, comma, and I think I'm going to end it like that. So it's no different than just filling out, say, other than just like a regular Google formula or an Excel formula, say, for VLOOKUP, for equals average, you have to put in those variables anyways. So it's exactly the same method. And you can see how quickly it gets it on an individual basis. It's an exact one-to-one mapping. Let's pull in the sales total. So how much sales actually in dollar values. Sales total, same thing. Put in the seller ID for the Amazon account. The period that I want, last 30 days. Marketplace, US, and I'll show you what happens when I change this. And for the SKU again, same thing. Select that, close the formula. It's now going to load the actual dollar amounts sold over the last 30 days for each of the SKUs. Now, fulfillable inventory. Let's say you want to now mix things up and you want inventory data along with sales data. I'm going to do gorilla_inventory. Test seller 2, again, the Amazon seller account. The next one says I need to enter my list of SKUs. So again, drag from A4 down to A17, comma, marketplace, US. Now the status is, I don't really need well, actually what I want for status is fulfillable. Okay. And if I was doing, say, FBA or FBM, then you can define whether you want to filter by FBA or FBM, but I don't need that. So I'm gonna just end the formula like this. And now it's going to load how much fulfillable inventory is available for each SKU. So you can see exactly how powerful this is and for flexibility, for total control. Now I'm going to change the period from last 30 days to last 60 days. Now this is where the formulas are so powerful, because if I was wanting to change the period for each of these queries, I would have to go in, edit the query, And once that's loaded, I would go to select period, and I would have to either change this value or change it to a preset like last 60 days or last week or something like that. So again, you would have to do it for each formula one at a time. Whereas if I, in this formula advanced version, if I want to change it to say last 60 days, I'm going to select that and press enter. And because all of these values are using and referencing the cell instead of me manually typing it in into the formula, anytime I change this, the value is going to update. You can see that that changes. And it's going to update dynamically every single time. So it's if you have a big report and all you want to do is see the same report but in a different time period, you would just do something like last week, last month, and all the data, all the values are going to update accordingly with the period that you've defined. Now you may ask, why isn't fulfillable updating? And that's because fulfillable inventory is a point in time data. If you want to get the data of the inventory, how much you had in stock at a certain day previously, like let's say January 1, you want to know how much you had in stock, then you would use a different formula to pull that historical value. Because even inside Amazon, you're unable, they don't provide that data. They only give you the current inventory data at this point. So if you want to get that data from Amazon, like how much you had, say 3 months ago, then you would need to save that every single day. Whereas what we do is we store that going forward once you sign up with us, and we will keep updating and storing that so that you have a historical log of your inventory data. So that's something that we provide, and the added benefits and the added value that we provide. So now that you've seen the regular version as well as the advanced features we offer, one thing to just keep in mind is that we purposely try to keep things as simple as possible. Best practice is to keep it separated. Keep your data in different tabs. Do not mix data if possible. It's always better to have way more tabs with individualized siloed data as opposed to a single tab with a million rows of data and it just continually say overwrites each other, or you're just having trouble trying to figure out where something is. Some other features that we have to make life easier is, let's say you have a specific formula that you don't want to be edited, then you can lock it into place. And by doing so, it's going to prevent anybody from editing the formula, from accidentally deleting the query. You can also refresh a single particular data set or query directly from here. So let's go to inventory A1. So here, inventory, this is the tab. If I want to refresh this manually, I can go here, click this. It's going to automatically refresh. And then when it's done, it's just it. It's going to refresh pretty quickly. So within a few seconds, all of that's done. You can also go in, instead of constantly recreating the same formula, we have options where you can duplicate. You can also delete the query and just keep it as static if you want, or you can delete everything. So let's try that. Let's delete this query only, because let's say I just want to save this. Delete query only, delete. I've deleted that query, now it's down to 2, but I've kept the data. And this way you can keep a static record for whatever purpose and then send it to emails, then save it as a CSV or whatever you want. Now, let's say you want to get into the advanced versions again. You know, when it comes time, we provide these templates, and this is the ultimate goal or the visual version of what most people aim for. All of this inventory data, all of these dashboards, this is all created. You can create all of this using our add-on. You can also use our add-on to just pretty much fill up this template and then just plug and play, rather than trying to either recreate the wheel or trying to do things on your own. So we try to make it easy for you to get started. So the sales, we've already created a template where we've got all the different periods that you can pull in, all the sales totals. And this is just to help you visualize what the end goal can be as you use the raw data to pull in Amazon Seller Central data into Google Sheets.